First of all, I'd like to thank everybody that came out. That was a great setting, a great opportunity for us to show off the progress we've made in the last year and a half. We played a really good football team today, and they've got good players across the board on both sides of the ball. And I think our guys battled their tails off to hang in there with a pretty stout group. And obviously credit to Cincinnati for winning the ball game, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys got.
What do you think they were doing with their passing game? They seem to be attacking, I guess, your left side of the secondary.
Well, they hurt us on both sides of the ball in man coverage. When we were in man coverage, they hurt us with some switch routes. When they were in man coverage, we couldn't make the play. And, I think that's kind of a synopsis of the game, really. If you look at the one-on-one battles, we didn't win enough of those one-on-one battles, whether they be man coverage in the secondary versus our secondary versus their receivers, or our receivers versus their secondary, or in the offensive defensive line. I felt like that was a pretty big part. They got in some bunches and some stacks and did some good stuff, and we had a hard time with it.
Coach, you were a quarterback. You've been coaching quarterbacks forever. What do you tell a kid like Paxton, just a freshman, who, when he gets in the rhythm, he looks pretty dang good, but when your receivers can't hang on the ball?
Well, you got to keep plugging away. I mean, obviously it's, we didn't catch the ball the way we needed to, which our margin for error is not very big, and we played a really good team. And, if you don't do those things, you don't have to be perfect, but you got to be pretty darn good execution-wise. And, he's just got to keep plugging away, keep putting the ball in there.
They played hard all game. I mean, your team doesn't quit. So, I mean, how do you make sure that they continue to do that and not give up on the season?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's talk of that. I think it's, it is a different dynamic because I think our guys have expectations now, expectations of the level of play, expectations for themselves, and they're genuinely disappointed when they don't meet those. But, this is a big mountain that we're climbing, and to build this program and take a step up in competition is a tremendous challenge, and we don't need to lose sight of the challenge, and we need to understand, the process that we have to go through. So, I told them today, I said, we're never going to coach a game where I try and dance around the word win during the week because I don't want you to be disappointed if we don't. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to coach like that. I'm not going to handle them like that. I'll live with the prospects of disappointment if things don't go well, but we're not going to approach it any other way. And I think they start to understand that a little bit, because you want it to hurt. But, we just got to keep – our guys will keep plugging away. They will. They are not happy, but they also understand where we're at and where we're trying to get to.
Coach, third down is huge tonight because you get off the field.
Yeah.
They made a lot of conversions, especially late in the game when you needed to get off the field. And you guys go 2 for 12.
Yeah, they did. They made plays. I mean, they if there was a contested ball, they made it. If they, if they could, kind of seed a ball in there, they did. You're right. They kicked us around a little bit on that, and we're just not to the point where we can be incredibly efficient offensively on those third and longs. We had a couple of them that I thought we had a chance to get that we, didn't quite come down with it on. But and then we had a couple that we were trying to get close on, that we went for it on fourth down. But there's no doubt they got us on third down.
The interception, was that part of the learning process for Governor Breckman to try something like that?
Well, that is we when you play a defensive front like the one we just played, you are going to get moved out of the pocket occasionally, and you are going to face pressure. And you cannot allow that to make you make a poor decision. And that is a lot easier to say in the air conditioning and sitting back on a Tuesday meeting than it is Saturday under the, or Wednesday under the lights. It's just, they're going to put pressure on you. They're going to get back there. We're going to block them some, and then we're going to be hanging on some. And we can't. You've got to address. To me, we have and we will continue to. But those are things you have to address early with any quarterback. Doesn't matter if you're a senior or a freshman. It happens to all of them. You get. You get moved off your spot, you get to moving around, and you're trying to make a play and press when you shouldn't have, and you should throw it in the stands and go play the next play.
How big was it to have Bobby McCain back tonight, Coach?
It's always great to have Bobby back. Just a tough competitor that, obviously he plays corner, he plays nickel. He's a leader. He's a great worker for us, so it's always good to have him.
Justin, Warford's fumble came pretty early in the game, so you obviously had plenty of time to overcome that, but how do you deal with a young guy who's trying to make plays, stutter stepping and trying, but not maybe realizing there's guys coming from behind and hitting him hard, and he's giving it up a few times?
Well, you saw how we dealt with it today. Ultimately that's what we have to do. And we continue to address it and continue to work on it and, continue to talk about it and drill it and emphasize it. But it's what we had to do today.
Can you talk about the effort for Brandon Hayes? Because it seems like no matter what happens, the guy just keeps running.
I'm telling you. What a great kid. What a great story. I mean, attitude, work ethic, dedication, grit, all those things. He just incredibly positive, incredibly hard worker that just continues to be a leader for us. It's hard for me to really explain just how much, we appreciate him.
Coach, not to dwell on it, you dwell so much on the turnovers. You talked to us on Monday.
Yeah.
How disappointing is it that even though there was only two, those two were huge because it's a 14, the touchdown, the fumble from Warford leads to a touchdown the next play, then Paxton's interception. You stress it so much, and yet those are huge.
Yep. It was 2-1, correct? Right. We got one. Bobby made a great play in the end zone there. And we lost a close ball game, and we lost a turnover battle 2-1. If it had been 1-0 or 2-2, then we can't do it. We just can't. That's the statistics bear it out, and we'll keep working on it. We'll keep getting better. Sometimes when you play good people, though, they make you give you the ball. Sometimes really good teams have that effect on people, and that's a pretty solid unit now. I don't think that should be understated.